Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Mibi and I'm a Nigerian content creator currently based in Johannesburg, South Africa. I usually film content around my faith, marriage and lifestyle, so if that is anything you're interested in, do well to click the subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you know when I post a new video. And I occasionally film video around me living in South Africa as well, like this one. So if you like this kind of content, click that like button so I know that you enjoy this video. Okay? Thank you. So in today's video, I'll be talking about my type of visa to South Africa, spousal visa of course, and how you can go about your application for a spousal visa in South Africa. I'm doing this video because I've gotten tons and tons of questions about this topic, and I usually just reply in the DM, but recently about 3-4 people have asked me the same question, and I'm like, you know what, let me just come and do this video once and for all. So if I have any other further question about this, I'm just going to send them the link for them to come and watch the video. Okay, I know that it is a struggle if you're currently going through the process of your spousal visa to South Africa. I know that it is a struggle, and I pray for a speedy and easy process for you in Jesus' name. So let's just get right into this video. So if you're applying to get a spousal visa to South Africa, it means that you're legally married, not for transactional purposes, but because you love this person dearly and you want to spend the rest of your life with them. And it also means one of these two things, that your spouse is currently living in South Africa as a citizen or as a permanent resident. If your spouse is not a citizen of South Africa and does not have a PR, I'm not sure that you can apply for a spousal visa in this country, and that just makes sense. So the first thing that you need to do is to get a marriage certificate. So it means that you have to be civilly married, you have to be married in the court of law according to the Marriage Act, so that you can have a certificate. I think you can also get your marriage certificate maybe from your place of worship if it is a licensed place of worship. Just make sure that whatever marriage certificate that you have is licensed and recognized by, the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So for us, we got married in a local government court in Oyo State, if that makes sense. I'll put a picture, somewhere here. And that is because, that is the law, number one. That is what is in the Marriage Act. The local government should actually conduct marriages. But in Nigeria, we don't usually follow the law. So usually people just go to the federal registry in Ikoyi. Yeah. So we got married in a local government registry. So people just go to the federal registry in Ikoyi to conduct their marriage. We did this because it just made sense for us. All our parents lived in Ibadan, and we didn't just want to be transporting people from one place to another. It was just very convenient. And we also asked, and they said that yes, we can conduct our marriage in the local government, because we told them that we want to use this certificate to plan a traveling. And they said that yeah, that's fine, you can use the certificate that the registry in Oyo State gives you. And that just made sense to us. It was better than traveling all the way to Lagos to do the wedding or to conduct the marriage. And also at this point, I'd like to give a timeline breakdown. So we did the civil wedding in January of 2020 because we had originally slated the wedding for August of 2020. So I was giving myself a 6 to 8 month period for the application process to be completed. Even though on the website it says 6 weeks, that the application is processed in 6 weeks. But we'll get to that. We did the civil wedding in January, hoping that the process will be completed and my visa will be held by August, so that after the wedding my husband and I can travel. If you have been following me for a while, you know that that is not the case. So I have stated that the first thing you need for your spousal visa application is your marriage certificate. The next thing to do after you have gotten this is to go to the VFS website. I'll put the website on the screen. I think VFS is the only travel agency that South Africa uses. So every application goes through VFS. So when you get to the VFS website, you look for the column where it says spousal and relative visa. So you click on that and download all the forms that you need to fill. There are tons and tons and tons of forms that you would fill. It is a lot. So let me just quickly go through some of the forms that you will fill. So you download all those forms and fill them in hard copy. You're not doing it online because you're going to submit all of the forms physically to the visa office. Okay, there is a biodata. You have to fill your personal information and all of that. So after the biodata, which is a very, very long form that you will fill, asking you all the questions about your relationship with this person. So there are other documents that you will also need to submit with your forms. Support letter from your spouse, proof of residence that he lives in South Africa, his employment letter, 3 to 6 months current recent bank statement, because they want to be sure that this person that you are coming to meet can take care of you. This person that you are coming to meet here can take care of you. It can be responsible for you while you are in the country. You guys don't plan on doing some illegal atrocities while you are here. Is ID paid? Then you in Nigeria will also have to get a police report. Usually this thing is free, police report is free, but you know how these things work. You have to tip somebody so that you can leave there on time. So the next thing you're going to need to download from that website is the medical form. The medical process for, coming to South Africa is not tedious. It's not as tedious as you have it for other countries like the UK, Canada, and the US. No, I literally did mine in a private hospital. The hospital that I had my HMO with was the hospital I did all my medicals. And they would ask that a medical practitioner signs and stamps, right? And that was just it. So depending on the kind of hospital, if it is a private hospital, you'd have to pay. I'm not sure if you'd have to pay in a government hospital, but you should just set aside money for that. Less than 50k. With less than 50k, you can get the test done. And for the police report, you can just tip with less than 5k. Depends on what you have in your pocket at the time. Less than 5k is fine, okay? After you have gathered all your documents together, in one of the documents that you downloaded from the website would show you how you are supposed to arrange them when you are going for submission. So you arrange all your documents according to what has been stated. Then you go to the VFS office to submit. I think you can submit your form in either Lagos or Abuja. I would advise that when you are going to submit your form, you go really early, because there are usually tons of people. You get there at 6 o'clock and there is already a queue. So I would advise that you go really early so that you can be attended to quickly, and if there is any issue with your application, you can quickly go fix it and come back that same day. So let me just quickly share my experience. We did the civil wedding in January, so by January I had my marriage certificate, and by the end of March I had all my documents, because immediately after my civil wedding I did change of name. So I waited for my change of name to reflect on my passport, my national ID, and every other identification that I had. So that was why it took me from January to March to have all my documents complete. And you guys know that by March 2020, the world was already on a lockdown, and so was the visa office, right? So I couldn't submit my application even though I had it ready from March. And when the lockdown was lifted, around the middle of the year, the visa office did not open. No, they did not open until September. So I remember that I went to the visa office, last week in September to submit my documents. And when I got there, they checked through all my documents. It was fine, except my marriage certificate. They said my marriage certificate was not licensed because we didn't conduct the marriage in a federal registry, right? I know. So the solution they provided was that I would have to send my marriage certificate to the Ministry of Interior in Abuja so that it can be signed off on. There is a word that I can't remember. If I remember during the course of editing, I'll put it on the screen. They said I would have to send it to the ministry so they can sign off on it and make my marriage certificate authentic. Yeah. So that took me another 3 weeks. I had to look for a lawyer in Abuja because only a lawyer can do that job. So I sent the marriage certificate via DHL to Abuja. I paid the lawyer about 30,000 to get the job done, and he sent it back to me. And I was only able to submit my application to VFS on the 16th of October of 2020, which was still fine because as at this time we had already shifted my wedding from August to December of 2020. And on the website, the standard waiting period or the standard processing period for your spousal visa application is 8 weeks. So I submitted exactly 8 weeks to my wedding. If the visa had come out when it was supposed to come out, it should have come out on my wedding day actually. So I was still very hopeful, like, yeah, the visa will come out on my wedding day. That's like the best wedding gift ever. I didn't know that I was in for a 6-month ride. 6 months long waiting period. The first video I ever did on this channel was about that. So if you're interested in that story, go back all the way to the first video, right? So I submitted in October 2020 and I did not get my visa up until April of 2021. Yeah, 6 months. So the visa application fee was 29,800. I paid this at the visa office at the point of submission, right? So how long is the visa? So they will usually give you 2 years exactly on a spousal visa. So after the expiration of that, you reapply again for another 2 years, and I think you have to reapply again for another 2 years. So I think you will have to reapply twice before you are eligible to apply for a permanent residence, because you can only apply for a permanent residence after you have lived in the country for 5 years. So if you do 2 years, then you apply again for another 2 years. It makes it 4 years, then you reapply again for another 2 years. So maybe before the expiration of that, you can now begin the process of applying for a PR. That is what I think. I just want to say that applying for a South African spousal visa is not as tedious, really. It's just the waiting time that is nerve-wracking. Compared to other countries, especially the UK, it is not tedious at all, especially if you have all your documents well put together. If you don't have any issues with any document whatsoever, the process is seamless. Just put together all the documents, submit to the visa office. You can pay an extra token if you want them to send you an SMS or you want them to call you when your application is ready, which I did. There was no point because I waited for 6 months anyway, so there was no point for that. But if you want to, you can do that. It's just the waiting time that is annoying. The process itself is very seamless. So if you're currently waiting, I pray for speed. I pray for speed for you. I know how it feels. And if you're just about to start your application process, I hope that you find this information very useful. So this has brought me to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Until next time I come your way, I hope that you do well and God bless you. Bye.